Good morning, Ruskin enjoyers, quite literally, as you can see. What's going on? Well, I have to quickly explain. So, to give you some context, because Something's UTERUST charity event started last night, and, I was taking part, I was streaming. I'm sure some of you are watching me. Thank you very much for turning up. Thank you very much for donating as well. Anyway, as we were waiting for the rust door to rotate, we waited and waited and waited, and it didn't appear at a normal time. No. So let's just kind of point this out. Typically, with a rust door rotation, it happens around 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time. It appeared at 3 a.m. Now, I was already taking part in the event, the charity event, so I was there still, and I was like, okay, here we go. Let's go showcase these skins. So consider watching my rust rotation video. I do show off all these skins ever so nicely, but please take this into consideration. No abnormals this week. All right, it was way too late. And also, next week, April 4th swipe. So that means we're probably having an early rust rotation as well. So at best, you could probably look at these skins and say, instead of like 7 days in a rust door, it's going to be probably more like 6. And with no abnormals, we can't wait till like the last second, do those buy orders, see how how much each skin has in terms of support based on bars and whatnot. No, we don't have that reassurance. So you probably realise now things are going to be a bit awkward with all these skins, because every single one of them is going to become marketable at the exact same time, Thursday night going into Friday morning, 1 o'clock in the morning UK time. Because clocks also changed this upcoming weekend. It's just perfect, isn't it? So yeah, this is going to be a very funny rust door. Also, all the skins here, or most of them, they are selling at like premium prices. They're pretty pricey. Yeah, so I have listened to people's responses, and they do seem to be quite happy with it, but we're probably not going to be seeing that many sales, perhaps. We'll see how this progresses. On Wednesday night next week, I will be streaming. Look in the description, you'll see links to all my socials. We can still sit here and figure out, do we just stick with a buy order, or do we actually want to purchase some of them? We could discuss that. But no abnormals. So just get that in your heads. We don't have that reassurance. So looking at all of these skins right about now, what's potentially looking to be the nicest investment, potentially? Fish Bandana. I'm going to go with that. So we did just have the bucket helmet, and that sold quite nicely. Not too ridiculously, only just about 8,000 subscribers. A nice screen bucket helmet. Also, we really don't expect another bucket helmet to be accepted anytime soon. And, part of this well-established, well-beloved fish collection. So as time has gone on, this has only been doing nicer and nicer. Well, with the arrival of the Fish Bandana, that pairs up perfectly with the bucket helmet, which, with the poncho, the burlap clothing, the leather gloves, the leather boot, like the burlap shoes. That is a nice primitive green camouflage set. So to truly understand how it looks, consider watching my rust rotation video, which you can see right over here, because I've just uploaded it. Because I've actually had to record this predictions video a couple times because I forgot to point out that abnormals aren't happening this week. I'm so happy. Anyway, that is not... Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're all appearing at the same time. I was about to say. But anyway. So, point made. 99 cents could be a bit of a problem, though, because that's, very approachable. Lots of people could buy that. But even then, it might still end up selling more in comparison to the bucket helmet. I just can't help but assume it's going to be all right. Part of that well-established collection. Yes, we do have some other green bandanas. You've got the banana leaf. You have the standard green bandanas, and I actually showcased that in last week's rust rotation video with the fish bucket helmet. But I still think it's going to be doing all right. I still think it's going to be okay. Let's see what the sales look like next Wednesday night. Maybe if it's a bit too ridiculous, we'll probably take a bit of a step back and commit to doing a buy order. But that's still looking to be pretty interesting. So we'll leave it at that. What's also potentially looking to be a nice investment for the week? I think I want to discuss the Gunhouse Sheet Metal Double Door. So, looking at that, I should point out this is the first ever skin acceptance for, what is your name again, good sir? Skuret94. Now, the skins he's produced quite recently are just double doors. There are single sheet metal doors, but the point I want to get across is, I don't know if we're definitely going to get a collection out of this. I'm not sure the skin creator's experienced enough. Don't want to come across as mean, but let's just say what we see there. But it is a very nice looking sheet metal double door. Please consider watching my rust rotation video. I give it a good look, and you could look at my response. I'm like, oh wow, that actually looks really nice. It's got this weird, strange sort of lighting feature where when you look at all the guns, the silhouettes that you see here, they all kind of lighten up quite nicely. It's hard to describe. Consider watching it. But yeah, it looks nice, and I have to talk about sheet metal double doors because I know how last year we got quite a lot of them. I should also point out right now, it's the end of March. We're about to roll into April, and typically around now, we tend to have like a bit of drop in player count, and we tend to see the prices reach a low point. Well, the player count has dropped off, but it's still stupidly immense. Like, it's still so much better compared to that absolutely wonderful summer we had. That's the silly thing. But yet, prices have dropped off a fair bit. And yet, as we hop back over to here, look at all the Sheep and the Doubledores that came out last year. What do we see with our eyes? It's all in the positive. It's all in the positive. Now, we should point out the ones that were out for a Halloween and for a Christmas, the holiday ones, they are down in price. Not too surprising, they're out of season. But all these other skins, if that's them at their lowest, that's still looking very good. And, of course, the most recent one, Sunken Doubledore, doing pretty all right. Euro holiday skin, but only down by 7%. So, how much is this going to sell? Because that's selling at $3, which might be a little bit too pricey for some people. Also, not that long of a time in a rust or potentially. Early rust rotation next week. April 3rd, my birthday. And, well, we'll see what happens, but that's looking pretty appealing, and that's why I've mentioned it now. So, looking at all these other skins, what's also potentially looking to be a very nice investment? I think if you can look at skins in terms of what's going to do a very good job of retaining its price, I think the Factory New Sap's a very good shout. But let me just point this out. From like a first glance, you might assume, oh, that's a black sap. It's more like a very nice, shiny, metallic design. Consider watching my rust rotation video to get a good understanding of this. In certain lighting, it definitely comes across as like very dark, but please also be aware of this. You might sit there now and say, okay, how does it compare to the other black saps from the previous year? Here's the funny thing. That's selling at $3, whereas that black diamond sap on the Steam market, $3.14, and that blackout sap, $3.49. There is not that much of a difference there, is there? But both of them are like comfortably in the positive because they sold at $2.49 each. So I don't think that's going to be rising up in price that much. But all the sap skins, and need I remind you, these should be at a low point this year. But they're all in the positive or just reasonably matching up to their rust ore price. They're all very good at retaining their value. How are they going to be when we approach the summertime? Well, even then, I don't think they'll rise up that much. But don't forget, we are expecting a jungle update at some point. Might not be April 4th swipe. I'm definitely doubting that. Don't think it'll be May 4th swipe. You never know. But at some point in that period of time where we also have like all the kids and summer vacation and whatnot, like it's perfect. Loads of people playing. Loads of people eager to jump in for the first ever instance we have a brand new biome being added to Rust, of all the brand new animals, of all the brand new weapons, with all the brand new monuments and whatnot. I mean, that's going to very likely bring in a lot of people. So much that I truly believe that we'll beat the all-time player count and potentially even reach up to 300,000. That's my assumption. We'll see how that plays out. Just expect a lot of people to be playing. And potentially, with a lot more people playing, more people will buy skins. And potentially, prices even improving to new all-time high prices. Is that going to cause that to go up and go crazy? I don't think so, no. I think at best it will do a very good job where it'll probably only ever be up by like 10% of its price. So smart builder, if you can. But remember, no abnormal, so it's that price. That's the price. That's the problem with it. That's all I can say. So good at retaining price, but will it ever really drop off? I don't think so. So, okay. All right, cool. Looking at the remaining skins, I think I now want to talk about the Tire Tier 2. So, this is really not that, like, reflective. It's not that shiny. It's not that bright. So, again, consider watching my rust rotation video. To help you out, more specifically, go to the chapters, and you can see I have a comparing with Blackout, because I've seen quite a lot of alternative Blackout options in the past. Dragon Rage, Legacy Kevlar, Black Gold, Pirate Collection, Commando, Black Diamond last year and whatnot. They're all quite shiny. This really isn't that much. Now, of course, you might sit there and say, but I don't really like the tyre design. Well, number one, you see that blue and that red there, you won't notice that from a distance. Don't worry about that. But overall, it doesn't matter. If we get those collection continuations at some point, which I've got to say, I won't be surprised if it happens, but also, it's originally intended to be a primitive collection. I'm still expecting hide boots and like a deer skull mask. Keep an eye on the workshop. See what Mr. 1J34633 produced next, but I am expecting tier 3 and hoodie and pants at some point. Boots and gloves as well. Like, it doesn't matter. If that don't sell that much, but it still gets those continuations, that's going to have a very fun time spiking them on, spiking them price. So how much is it going to sell? No clear idea at the moment, but it's the second lowest selling skin at the moment. And now, ooh, it's very interesting. But also take this into consideration. Blackout tier 2 as a full set, that costs about $40+. This right here, it costs $7. That's quite a significant difference. And again, look at that rust rotation video, look at the comparisons. I stand right next to lights. Blackout is only slightly less reflective. I know Blackout has the prestige and the esteem, but that looks to be a very nice, interesting budget option. So that's for your consideration. Now, looking at the remaining skins, I think now is a good time to probably talk about the Sakura AK47. So this is a bright pink anime AK47, and let me tell you, the floodgates are definitely going to open now. This is an anime AK skin being accepted in a Rust store. I know we had Popstar, but this is another one, and it's bright and it's pink, and yeah. Now, I know there's a lot of people that would greatly appreciate this, and there's also a very loud vocal amount of people that really don't want this, and thank you for telling me loads and loads and loads of times. Anyway, $3.49. That might be a bit concerning. Again, like, you'd think these skins probably wouldn't sell that much, but that is the top selling skin this week. Now, there is something I can compare this to, and it is another pink skin that was accepted quite some time back. In fact, I think this is the only other pink AK that was accepted, that being the Valentine skin of 2023, the Kiss AR. And that sold at $2 in the Rust store, and right now it's on the Steam market, selling at $7, or listed at $7, but one just sold for $7 because I saw it earlier. So yeah, Barter's pushing up to $6. Look at its comfortable rise up in price. Like, that's been appreciated. That has been doing very, very nicely. All right. Now, with the arrival of this brand new AK, could it potentially be affected? Well, I mean, it's a much more affordable option, and it has a waifu on it. Just saying. But like the skin creators, I would be surprised if they probably commit to producing some more weapon skins and whatnot. Sakura L96, Sakura SAR, Sakura, I don't know, trying to think of something really, a rock, I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Like, I think that can actually work out quite nicely. Does it even need continuations to help it out? I mean, probably not, no. So keep an eye on the workshop over the course of this weekend. Let's see what those skin creators produce next, but there's some very interesting things potential on the horizon, and if it really don't sell that much by next Wednesday, maybe we commit to it, jump in, do some purchases, or maybe we just stick with doing some buy orders. Because as you are fully well aware, AKs don't always tend to work out very nicely, but that looks to be pretty interesting and pretty special. So, okay, cool. So looking at the remaining skins now, I want to talk about the Cryo Fridge, a very interesting sci-fi aesthetic, a very interesting, nice and appealing looking design produced by Mr. Fuff. But this is another fridge skin being accepted in this month. Like, we've had 3. This used to be a rare sight to see. Now we're suddenly seeing lots of them being accepted. Well, I guess that makes sense considering the recent cooking update that we had. But if this is being a consistent thing from here and now, you're going to start seeing prices drop on all these skins. Like, they are going to struggle to maintain interest because they'll just keep being more and more and more options being produced and accepted. And take this into consideration, Easter is just around the corner, Halloween is later this year, Christmas is later this year, and of course, Twitch drops. Yeah, I think we might be seeing a lot of fridge skins, and that is looking concerning. Now, if you look at both of these fridges here, they don't have a ton of listings, but again, it doesn't matter. So as long as you keep seeing more and more and more being produced, well, that will very likely lead to more people wanting to dump their stock. And yeah, it can cause some panicking. So be a little bit wary, be a little bit cautious. And again, by all means, not everything has to be an investment. If you like a skin, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creators, keep them nice and motivated, keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. But if you want to make an investment, wait it out. Usually it's that, that's the best way to approach things. So we'll see what happens next, but over the course of this weekend, keep an eye out, see how many fridges are being produced. All right? So cool. Right, looking at the remaining skins, what am I thinking about next? I want to talk about the B-Metal Sheet Metal. So I'm sure many of you are fully well aware, this has transparency and it glows in the dark. It has 2 windows, and you might think, oh wow, that's absolutely amazing. I'm sold. Well, hang on a minute, just want to point this out. That picture there, or rather this image of the guy with his head right there, that's a bit deceptive. When you look at this in-game, and again, consider watching my rust rotation video, that is not head height transparency. You kind of need to stand on something or jump just to be able to see through it. And this is a bit of a concern considering the recent sheet metal doors we've had that were in rust doors that had transparency and glow in the dark. Do you remember the protector sheet metal door? That was a pretty cool idea, but the transparency was like hard to see through. Well, anyway, that's down to $1.72 after selling at $3 in the Rust store. And it was lower, but Garage Door appeared quite recently and gave that a bit of a boost. So, alright, okay. And then last year we had the Junkernaut sheet with the door. Transparency wasn't super helpful, but hey, we saw the Bombshell and the Bruceless sheet with the door come out and sell very nicely, and they did very good in terms of retaining their value. Surely that would still be alright, right? Well, that sold at $3, and now it sells at $1.23 on the Steam market. So, a bit concerning. But in my rust rotation video, when I compared the B metal door with the Cryo Twitch drop that we got back in December, and yeah, chances are you got this for absolutely free, and I wouldn't be surprised if you're better off just using that. And you might say, but Hedge, 2 windows. Yeah, even then, you got so much more visibility, and it's less of an annoyance just to be able to see through it. And, you know, the glow in the dark's perfectly fine. As much as you might want to compare this B metal door with the bombshell sheet metal door and the Bruce list, like these are still a level above. Like the amount of vision you can get through looking at that and through this, it's a level above. And that's why that is now listed at $6, and this is now pushing up to $11. People do really appreciate the amount of vision you get out of them. And I'm sorry, but the B metal door, it's more of an annoyance trying to get a good look in. And with that recent December Twitch drop, you probably don't need it. You don't need it, all right? So $3, I don't think that's holding up. I'm sorry to say, but by all means, if you like the whole B aesthetic and whatnot, and you're building up like cute bee bases and whatnot, and still crossing your fingers and hoping for the beekeeper hazmat idea and whatnot, it wasn't a bad idea there, Mr. Shadowfrox. But if you like it, you go buy it. But if you're looking at it as an investment, I'd be cautious. That's what I'm going to say. Right, so looking at the remaining skins, what am I considering? I think I want to talk about Whittle Bloom Large Box. It's a very nice grounded approach. I like this carving. Like, it looks very nice. I think Mr. Yeah has a very good thing going on, but I also have to respect how other people are likely to respond to this, because it doesn't glow in the dark. And I've got to be honest, like, if he made a wooden double door with this whole like design and whatnot, that'll look beautiful. So Mr. Yeah, I hope you do make some more continuations. Very nice, very cool, but I don't think it's retaining that $2 price, unfortunately. I'm a bit cautious. Maybe a smart barter will be the way to go about it, but by all means, if you like it, you know exactly what to do. Just buy one for yourself, treat yourself. Looking at the remaining 2 skins, I'm going to talk about Rig Lootroom Box next. So, this is a very nice looking design, and I know it got quite a bit of interest on the Twitter, but for what it is, it's very similar to what Mr. 38 has produced in the past. Skins that did sell very nicely, but they didn't retain their value. So as you might notice, we had the base boxes, so stone, wood, high quality metal, sheet metal, you get the idea. They are down by 52, 56 and 52 again. So small boxes in general, they just don't seem to be holding up their value that much anymore. It's quite unfortunate, but yeah, you have to be aware of that and you have to be cautious. By all means, if you think it looks cool and you like it, you go treat yourself. But as an investment, I think you're better off with a buy order. Right, so ISI sleeping bag, a very nice cool frozen approach, a very nice interesting glow in the dark design. Problem, didn't we already have a frozen sleeping bag quite recently? Yes, we did. So back over to here, we recently did get the the Glacial Visage sleeping bag. Get a good look at that. It's down to $2. With the arrival of this, I'm not too surprised. Now that did 14,000 subscribers almost. But we have recently seen another ISI skin being accepted, and that really didn't sell that much, did it? That being the SAR. That was the lowest selling skin when that was in the Rust Tour 2 weeks ago. If this right here does not sell that much by the end of the week, things might be pretty interesting. But no abnormals this week, that's a concern. Okay. But also, you know, like when we saw the garage door being accepted, the sheet metal door didn't change. When this appeared today, these haven't changed, so I don't think people care enough about the collection in general. It's unfortunate, but you have to kind of react to how other people behave with these skins. Now, again, a sheer lack of sales could still work out, but I don't think there's actually any interest in the collection, I'm afraid. So, a bit awkward. Sorry. Right, so overall, how much are these skins going to sell by next week? We'll see. But even my guesses after looking at the first 24 hours of sales might not even be that great, because again, the very weird late Rust rotation, and of course the early Rust rotation next week with the force wipe update for April. I mean, we'll see. Right, so let's talk about some interesting things on the horizon. So I have to bring up that the next batch of skins are expected to be the Easter skins, and guys, let me tell you, I'm expecting a lot. Valentine's got 220 submissions. Let's also take into consideration last year for Halloween and Christmas, we've got 3 weeks of those Rust doors. Do you reckon we'll see 3 weeks of Easter? By default, I am expecting 2 weeks of Easter. That's what we normally get. But I'm expecting an April Force Wipe Rust door, and second week would be Easter week 1. Third week of April will be Easter week 2. And the last one, could it be a standard Rust door, or could it be Easter week 3? We shall see. As of now, 4 Easter skins have been submitted. Keep an eye on this. I'll link this in the description, and we'll probably see maybe about 200. I wouldn't be surprised if we see fridges. Ugh. All right, then, so that's cool. I should also point out the majority of the skins in this Rust store were early picks, basically skins that were literally just submitted this past weekend. So if you want to be up to date with all the newest skins that are being submitted, consider watching my Rust Workshop skin checks videos. So over to here, see all of this? Yep. Every single collection continuation is chaptered, a very easy way to just navigate to things that interest you. It's all on display, it's all provided, so consider keeping up to date with this, and you'll be more aware of all the newest skins that are being submitted potentially, accepted. Well, either way, you get the idea. Cool. Right then, so let's also talk about some interesting content on the horizon. So, you should consider keeping an eye on Mr. Protox's Twitter. He's always keeping track of all the newest content that potentially might be coming out fairly soon, or quite literally is visible, and of course, for Easter, we've got inflatable horse costumes. Give that a good look. So quite literally it appears we're getting a horse version of the chicken costume. That means this is probably going to sell for about $10. Be prepared. But it's very likely going to be the exact same thing, aka you're going to get, it's like a wooden leg skin, essentially. That's it. So, okay, fair enough. I'm sure you're going to still enjoy that, and you can either have a unicorn or a focused horse or a goofy horse with his teeth sticking out. Either way, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be appreciating that, and thank you very much, Mr. Protox, for providing the videos and all the lovely early information and whatnot. So keep up to date, and yeah, cool. Right, I should also point out the recent fundraising. So yes, we have currently raised $2,400 after the first day. There's still 3 more days to go. If you want to consider watching my streams, look in the description. You'll see links to all my socials, more specifically my Twitch. And, well, Hedge has to shave all of his hair off and his eyebrows. Now, I'm going to go to the barber's, get that all cut off. But on my stream later tonight, I will be shaving off my eyebrows live. So if you want to come watch that spectacle, well, just come join, I guess. So thank you to everyone who has donated. Thank you to everyone who contributed. Every little helps. So yeah, thank you very much appreciated. And yeah, so if you still want to consider contributing, you're more than welcome to do so. And Becca is very, very pleased. But hey, you know, I was very, very happy to contribute. But I mean, just remember what this looked like, alright? Because it's probably disappearing. And one final extra note. Considering that prices are reaching a low point, you should consider watching this video here, Rust Skins, Recent, Past, Present and Future Expectations. It kind of gives the indication that skin prices have reached their low point. You might want to buy them now before it's too late, because as we reach closer and closer to the summer, they'll keep rising in price. And more specifically, I kind of focus that whole idea around the Neon collection, because they've been out for almost a year now, and it really doesn't look like they're going to get any cheaper. That being the small boxes, the lockers, and the garage doors. And there will be a Christmas video as well. That'll be approaching Christmas skins as investments, because usually around March, April time, best time to pick them up because they should be at their cheapest prices. Hold on to them and sell them around November, December time later this year. You're making a pretty penny, a pretty big profit. So yeah, a special Christmas video will be uploaded on Saturday. And with that, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Remember the hair, because you might not see it for much longer.